Okay, this is designed to hold 4 trays. I just put 2 in. You can see there's a shadow just off to the right of my trays. It's because it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So if theory holds correctly, I would think by 6 o'clock tonight the shadow should be hitting on the other side of the trays. At the moment this isn't really designed to move and track the sun, but I may modify it, we'll see. Okay, I'm making a solar food dehydrator. That's my box. I found this old window out in my barn, so I'm just using it for the top. I just used some 2x6s and a piece of 3/4 on the bottom, and I drilled these 4 holes, which are 3 1/8 inch. I used this handy little bit here, which you can buy from Home Depot or Lowe's, somewhere like that. But I just made my box just a little bit bigger than my window, so it can slide down in there. And those are my bottom holes, and now I'm going to drill some in this board down here, which will be the top. You want to film? It lifts up, put stuff in there. There's some vent holes at the top. And then I've got 4 vent holes in the very, very bottom underneath right down here also. And then some aluminum soffit off of a house in the bottom, which is nice for the drips. Okay, this is our test run on our new solar dehydrator. We just put out a bunch of cherry tomatoes, we put out some whole ones, and we cut some in half. Got some plum pieces, some
green bell pepper, banana peppers,
habaneros, and got some big giant zucchini chips, and then some little zucchini pieces, some apples, and some zucchini slices up here. Okay, so this is drying one day. The apples are nice and dry and leathery. Very yummy. Bananas pretty dry. Yep. I think we possibly could have brushed something on them to keep them from discoloring, but they're yummy. Much to my dismay, those turned out okay, those big old zucchini strips. These tomatoes are excellent. I've never had a sun-dried tomato. They're really yummy. I didn't used to like tomatoes, but man, they're good. These things, the little jalapeno peppers, man, they dried really quick. The plums, I haven't tried those yet. Try one. The grape tomatoes, as you can see, they didn't dry out. They need to be cut in half. These ones were cut in half. They seem to be pretty good. They're yummy, but they're still a little moist. They probably could dry a little more. The best is to slice them thin like this, because then they're dry and really yummy. So that's it for our test. Guess we'll start doing it for real. Okay, this is test number 2. I've sliced up some potatoes on kind of a chip style, and then some dices, doing some carrots, doing a bunch more green bell peppers. And then over on this tray, I had half a zucchini, about, I don't know, that tall, a big one, for comparison purposes, pretty good size. So I'm just going to dice this one up and see what we can do. I found out yesterday when we did this, my wife cut some great big round chips like this, and they actually turned out really nice. I cut some really thinner than this, just pretty thick, and they were too thin because these lose a lot of water and really shrink down. So I think a little bit thicker is nicer on these. So try it out. Okay, it's test number 2. It's been going from cloudy to right now the sun is starting to come out. So it's kind of an overcast day. We'll see what happens with this. When I was doing some solar cooking a few weeks ago in my solar oven, it was totally cloudy. I put the food in there because I really wanted to test it out, and looked outside about 20 minutes later, and it was, you know, sun was just beating down on it and cooked great. So that's the skinny. I don't know if you can see those clouds up there, but yeah, that's kind of what we got going on today. Okay, today I did some banana chips, did a whole tray of them. Right there, already in the shade, but they're looking good. Okay, first attempt at drying apricots. Got a couple more bananas in there. Now, my apricots, I didn't realize you weren't supposed to blanch them and try and get the skin off. This bottom right tray, I blanched them and took the skin off, and I did the same thing with some plums. That was virtually impossible. So, called my sister. She said, you don't do that. You leave the skin on, so you don't have to blanch them. So all those are blanched except the ones on the bottom of the bananas. Those I just washed and cut up. So we'll see how they turn out and what tastes best. Okay, this is the only downside to a solar air heater, or a solar food dehydrator, excuse me. That's my next project. It's raining today. Yep. Alright, that's okay. The sun will